Okay, everybody, this is what y'all been waiting for, my keto pizza crust. I'm not going to show you how to make the whole pizza because I'm sure everybody understands how to top a pizza and put the sauce on and bake and stuff like that. I'm just going to show you the main crust and how I do it, how I bake it, what it looks like after it bakes, and then I'll show you a picture of my finalized pizza, but I'm not going to go over cooking the meats and everything to put on there because I'm sure everybody understands how to do that. So with that being said, let us begin. So in this bowl right here, what I got, wait, trigger warning. There is vital wheat gluten in this. So for those who are really strict, very, very strict clean keto, this is not for you. If you have gluten issues and you're allergic to stuff like that, this is not for you. For those who want to rant and rave about me doing it on keto, this is not for you. But for those who are doing keto for weight loss and to get healthy, who really ain't got health problems like gluten sensitivity, stuff like that, or any other issues, you just want to get healthy, lose some weight, this pizza crust is for you. So what I got here is I got a 1/4 cup of vital wheat gluten, and I got 1 cup of a blanched almond flour. It's the almond flour that I get at Costco. It's the Kirkland brand. I love this stuff. And so what I'm doing here, just giving it all a good mix. And also what I'm going to add in there, because I'm going to flavor this up, the pizza crust up itself. That way when you eat the crust, it's just not a plain Jane taste. It's got some good flavor in there. So I'm going to throw on, right here, I got some salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Bam, right there, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. A little Italian mixed herbs. I buy this at Costco. This is the only time that I use dry herbs. I do not like dry herbs and spices. I would prefer them fresh, but for this here, I'm using this. This is a Spice Highlands. It's pretty good. So in there, I'm just going to put a teaspoon of that in there, just enough to give it some flavor. And I measure everything in my palm of my hand, as you can see. So just about a teaspoon of the Italian seasoning in there. Put that over there out of the way. And on top of that, baking powder. This stuff helps it rise up when it's baking there. Let me get my measuring spoon because I do want to measure this out. And I'm going to put a tablespoon of baking powder in here. This is going to help it get puffy when we bake it. So, okay, so you can see just a 1 level tablespoon. Just sprinkle that around in there. Close that back up. You're going to give it a good mix. And this, what you need to do before you do all this is get your oven preheated to 400 degrees. That's what we bake this at. So just get your oven preheated and get started heated up. Give this a good mix until everything is all, that already smells good. And the last thing, as far as spices that I'm going to add to this, just give me 1 second. I will be right back. It is, here we go. I got me some granulated California garlic, of course from Costco. It's good stuff. I mean, you can smell, it smells like garlic. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of that in there. I'm going to say another 1/2 teaspoon, just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. I'll set that out of the way. And again, give it a good mix up. Now, a special ingredient that I like to throw in here because it's extra king is some nice Parmesan, some nice Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to put about a 1/4 cup in there. That was going to melt and the cheese will help it stay together. Oh, I haven't even opened this yet. So yeah, there we go. And so yeah, hands are clean. I use my manual food process for everything. So yeah, just a nice 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Sprinkle that in there. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, a 1/4 cup plus a tablespoon. There we go. That's the right measurement. I'm going to put all this stuff down there in the description box. That way you guys know exactly how much I put in there. Ooh, that smells good. And then again, I'm going to give it all a good mix up here. Now here comes the fun part. Mix it all up. And also, I'm going to put 1 whole large egg. This is a cold egg. It's not room temperature. It is cold. I'm going to put the white, the yolk, and all that wonderful good stuff that comes with eggs in there. And then we're going to just beat that up right there in the bottom of the bowl. And then start mixing it all up nice. And I bet you're wondering, how is that going to mix up? There is no water in there. Well, there is no water in this. Maybe sometimes I might put a tablespoon, but most generally there is no water. But I will show you what I put in here to make it just absolutely delicious. It is So you want to mix this egg up here until you get these nice little balls and clumps in here. And then, yeah, so like that, and it's going to start holding together. So you put your hand in there, give it a good crunch up a few times, and when you start getting that nice ball forming, this really kicks it off right here. I mean, yeah. What I got here is some organic ghee. Get it at Costco. This stuff is just lactose. My wife's lactose intolerant. She can do this. It does not bother her whatsoever. And I am going to just put a nice, good, heavy tablespoon in there. There we go, tablespoon of that. And this is clarified ghee. It's organic, it's fantastic. I use it in everything. I make chocolates with it, it's just fantastic. And then we're gonna mix that up in there. And also what this oil is gonna do is gonna help bring everything together. Plus, it's gonna keep it from sticking to our parchment paper when we bake it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up real good here. Get that out there. Now it's time to use the manual processors. And we're gonna continue to, yeah, that's mixing up fine with that knife. Oh man, it smells so good. The garlic and spices, and plus that ghee. You know, if you don't like ghee, which most people should like ghee, but if not, you can add any oil in here you want. Avocado oil. I wouldn't put olive oil because olive oil, you don't want to get it hot because when it gets too hot, they say it releases some bad stuff for you. So the only thing that I ever use olive oil for is to make salad dressings or to warm it up just a tad, you know, to dip stuff in there like cheese dipped in olive oil. Yeah, good stuff. So I'm just going to sit here and knead this for a while. Well, not a while, just a minute or two. And as you can see, it forms a nice ball of dough here. And you can see it's oily because of the oil, but that's the good stuff right there. That's going to help it cook nice. And so that's what we got. And this is going to make one pizza crust, probably about a 14-inch pizza crust because you want it thin. And so what I'm going to do is move this bowl out of the way here. Just set it back here on the counter. Move some of this stuff out of the way. I should have did that beforehand. But I've got my pizza pan here. And I got some parchment paper on this pizza pan. So what I do is I set that dough right in the middle of that. And I use my hands and I start to spread that out and start making your pizza crust. It's going to crack, but that's okay. We're just going to push it back together. And we want to get this just as thin as we can, because we don't want a big old thick one. Yeah, you can't make deep dish with this. So we want to get it nice and rounded. And this will be thin. We're talking we want to get it, everything you just keep smashing it and spreading it out. You push outward from the middle. I mean, I guess you could take another piece of parchment and put on this and use a rolling pin to roll that out. But this is, you know, kind of therapeutic, so. And just keep smashing them ends together, make it look like that. And you make the little edges there as you push it out. You can make it, you know, roll them up a little bit, make it look more like a pizza crust. And you just keep on doing that. And you see it, and also you can spin that parchment paper, and it's easier to do that. Because yeah, you don't want to try picking this up until it's done, because once this is done, it does hold together like a pizza crust. It doesn't crumble and fall apart. It's not eggy. A lot of people say, oh, that might be eggy. No, this is not eggy. Even though it does have an egg in there, it's not eggy. There we go. It's getting there. A little bit more. You can use your thumb pinch there to get the edges there. Because we're gonna make it like a little dish, as you can see it's starting to edge up there, and then that's when you put your sauce in there. Everything stays in the middle of that thing. It won't run off. Yeah. As you can tell, I love this recipe. I used to be a big pizza man. I mean, I could eat a pizza pie and nothing flat. I'm talking an 18-inch pizza with everything, meat lovers pizza. I could eat that myself, and of course, well, that led to other problems. So. But anyway, we're almost done here. Oh man, that smells so good. That garlic and the Italian herbs and that ghee. That's just some wonderful stuff here. I mean, at this point here, I'm just getting a little bit thinner there in the center. The edges I like a little bit thicker because when it cooks, it just looks more like a pizza. So it's almost done there. And so what I got here is probably about a 12-inch, 13-inch pizza. It depends on how thin you like it, and it will puff up a little bit. And you can actually get it a little bit more if you thin out them sides there. Another 1/4 inch off of it. Of course, a 1/4 inch of topping is a mouthful of goodness, that's what I say. Anyway, so there we go. This pizza here, I'm having it for dinner night. We have a Bible study on Friday nights, and we have a young man from our church come over, and he wasn't going to come up first, but I said, hey, there's free food involved. He was here, and so you might get to see him a little bit later in the video, as he will be my taste tester, because he's not on the keto diet, even though he's thinking about it. But yeah, okay, so we got our pizza crust here. Let me see if I can fatten that down. You can see it. As you can see right there, it's a nice round pizza crust, a little indentation. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, just like that, no weight on it, nothing. Oops, right there. I am going to do one thing with it. Just like you would any other. You take your fork here, and you just poke some holes in the bottle. Keeps it from getting puffed up and cracking in the oven. So we're going to poke that up. We don't want to poke the crust, just the bottom. There we go, that's enough poking. And I'm gonna throw this in a 400-degree oven. Well, it was 400 degrees until somebody shut it off. But anyway, I'm gonna wait for the oven to get 400 degrees. And once it comes to 400 degrees, I'm gonna throw this pizza crust in there. I'm gonna bake it for 15 minutes on the top rack. For 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back here and show you what the finished pizza crust looks like, and explain to you what you have to do with it next. So I will see you in just a flash of an eye, or for me, 15-20 minutes. All right, folks, this keto pizza crust is ready and it's out of the oven. And if you want to get down here a little bit, Alex, there, my cameraman behind the camera, say hello, Alex.
Hello.
And so you can see here, it is a nice, it looks sort of like a biscuit, as Alex was pointing out, but it's really not. And so what I did is after it baked, I scooted it off that parchment paper. You do it really gently and back on the pan. And so what we're going to do now is it's cooled down enough to touch. And so I prepared a sugar-free pasta sauce here, pizza sauce. It's just tomato sauce, garlic, and a little bit of Italian parsley in this. We got some sauteed mushrooms, some sausage, Canadian bacon, parsley, and a little sweet pepper, just a little bit, not much in there. And of course, the piece of resistance, diced jalapenos, and of course your pizza blend mozzarella cheese. It's got mozzarella and whatever's in it, but I'm sure everybody knows how to top it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and top this, and then we'll throw it back in the oven. We're going to boost the oven up to 425 degrees and bake it until everything on top is nice and melty and bubbly, just like a pizza should be. And then I will be back to show you the end results and how it looks. All right, folks, our pizza is done. You get a nice shot of it here, Alex. As you can see, I mean, that turned out really good. The cheese is melted. We got sausage, Canadian bacon, little red orange pepper, jalapenos. We got some parsley, some local grown parsley. I mean, this pizza is going to be the bomb. Homemade pizza sauce, so it's very low in sugar, very low in carbs. So per slice, we're going to cut this thing here in 4 slices, and that's how we're going to eat it, because there's 3 of us, and so it's going to feed 4 of us. And so if you cut this thing here, this is a, what do you think, Alex, about 12 inch?
About 12 inch.
About 12 inch pizza here. We're going to cut this in 4 pieces, and each piece, each quarter of this pizza is probably going to be a total of, I'm going to say no more than 10 carbs per slice. But like I said, I only count carbs. I don't worry about the fat or the calories, just the carbs, because I only eat once a day, so I need the fat to get my calories. So I'm going to go ahead and see if that's, yeah, that's cool enough to touch. I'm going to cut this and show you how easy this thing cuts. You don't want to saw on it. You just want to push down on it. That's through. And we're going to cut it again in a quarter. Like that. And like that. Now let me get something to scoop that out a little bit. You could just keep showing that lovely piece of Alex.
Yeah, I do.
I got my little thing here. This is actually about 18 years old. It was from our wedding, so we still got it. Ooh. So now I'm going to dish up a slice of this pizza here and put it on the plate. Make sure it got cut all the way through. There we go. You really want to let this cool down before you handle it too much. There we go, just like any pizza. You want to cool it down. As you can see, it comes away nice and cheesy. And we'll set that right on the plate there. And as it cools down, because you don't want to eat the pizza, because you want everything to settle down and cool there. You want this pizza to cool for like 5 minutes, but after 5 minutes, you'll be able to pick this up reasonably well. It don't fall apart real easy. I mean, it's not gonna flop around like it's dough, because it's not flour, it's almond flour. But it is just fantastic. I'm probably putting a little bit more fresh jalapeno on there, maybe a little Cholula hot sauce or something on there. Serve with a nice side of a green salad, just greens, cucumbers, and tomatoes, the homemade salad dressing, taking about 3 or 4 minutes to whip up. And that's gonna be our dinner tonight, folks. So hopefully, you're gonna try this recipe, you're gonna love this recipe, you're gonna like it, share it, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And in just a few minutes, actually probably seconds for you, we're gonna come back while we're sitting at the table, and after we bless it and pray over it, we're gonna show Alex taking his first test of this pizza, because he's not a keto person. He's playing with it, but he's not sure. So we're gonna have him test it and give an honest opinion of this pizza. And one thing about my friend Alex is he will give you an honest opinion. But if you hit him hard enough, you might not. But anyway, we're an honest opinion. So we'll be back in just a quick second to show you what he thinks. Okay, folks, we are back. We have sat down, we blessed our meal to prepare for our meal and our Bible study. Now my little brother Alex here, he is going to try this for the first time and give us all an honest opinion. So, all right, Alex.
All right, let's try this.
Go ahead. Picks up pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
First bite there. I'll give him a little bit of time to chew and swallow. All right, brother, let me have it. What do you think?
All the toppings you picked were really good. Try this. This is pretty good. It's kind of more like flatbread in my opinion, but it's still like, I would eat this as a pizza. Perfect.
All right, folks, there you have it. Straight from little brother Alex's mouth. The crust is edible. It picks up. It don't fall apart. It's like he says it's like a flatbread, but he also kind of young, so he really don't know a lot. But anyway, folks, until next time, as always, God bless and good eats.